The name of the show is Love and War, but tonight you can forget about the love part. A good old-fashioned barroom brawl breaks out, and star Jay Thomas is right in the thick of things. Love turns to war when a patron makes a pass at Annie Potts, and in a rare moment of gallantry, Jay Thomas takes command.
Whose head has been sewn on in a lamp.
Chivalry may look simple, but this scene is completely choreographed with a stunt coordinator, a stunt double, and lots of rehearsal.
Okay, at it. You want to give a shot of these knees? We have the breakaway biscotti. You know, crack.
What you need to do is you bring this left arm and really swing that left arm. Let's try that.
I hope you don't screw this up. Oh, there you go. You can actually touch me a little more.
Yeah.
Are you afraid you're going to hit me?
Yeah.
I know you're not going to hit me. This will never work again. No. Huh? It'll be better than that.
He made that point. He said, "I'll never work against him again if you catch me here, and now he's been very kind and takes the punches well."
He has to react to his punch and not react before the punch is put into his stomach. So it's a team effort, and they both got to be in sync.
Which is why they have to be turned away, so when I turn back, I don't know when it's coming. Because they got like Mr. Big Chicken over here. Okay, Randy, right here. May I have you step in, please? Okay, throw this back here. We're gonna see that at all? Or not?
No, we're not going to see that.
Okay, now I have. This I ain't doing.
It's the old Texas switching. Stuntman goes over, the actor comes up.
That's exactly right. Randy gets thrown into the table. He then gets thrown over the bar. Okay, a big fight breaks out. Now everybody hold right here. Please. Stop. Easy, easy, easy. Don't ruin your hair and your outfits. All right, hold it right there. Hold it right there. Have you ever used this many people in a television show?
No, this is a first, I think. 16 stunt people. It's a big fight for a sitcom.
For a sitcom, yeah, it's gigantic. Awesome! Fight! I wanted to do something like this ever since I was, 5 or 6 years old, I guess. And it gets better. So before the day is over, I'll be knocked into that table, thrown over this bar, knocked into the kitchen where I land on a hot, burning stove out the window. But then I come back in, and I think I'm beaten up again.
Hi, how are you? You enjoying your meal? Oh, aren't you smart? You got the lemon sole. Good. Hi, I'm the chef, Dana Palladino. I hope you're enjoying your meal.
The food here is top-notch.
Yeah, choice grub.
But you know, the whole dining experience could be better if you, sat on my knee.
I said my last name was Palladino, not Fleiss. And besides, I wouldn't want to make your friend jealous.
Oh, you're feisty. I like that.
Just my luck. Oh, boy. We got a table over here made a wrong turn in Jersey. Think they're at a truck stop. What a couple of jerks.
Well. So, where are you going so fast? You, walked away before I had a chance to ask if you were single.
Can't you see the lady is busy?
Jack, it's okay. I can handle this, all right? Look, it's nothing personal, really. I'm just not interested.
Well, hey, give me a chance here, babe. You don't even know me yet.
I know you ordered your salmon battered and deep fried like a giant fish stick. I don't need to know any better than that.
Well, great. So just tell me where and when.
Hey, look, come on, pal. You heard the lady. Now, why don't you just go back to your cage? I'm sure there's some fresh newspaper in there by now.
Jack, just let me handle this, okay?
Yeah. Why don't you listen to your mom and back off?
Look, what I am telling you to get out of her face.
I'm telling you to keep your mouth shut.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We don't need to celebrate the Feast of St. Testosterone here tonight, all right? Everything is under control.
And listen, buddy. I would have stepped outside with you, but I make it a rule never to pummel someone whose head was sewn on in a lamb.
porcini mushrooms. I'll be back to take your order in just a minute. Table for one.
Always gotta get the last word, don't you? Hey, what are you thinking about? Did you feel better now that you got the last word? Chill. People, please! Everybody! What do we teach our children here? Everybody, if you just listen to me for a second, I got something to say to you all. And after all, we're all brothers and sisters here in this crazy thing called life. Remember what Mahatma Gandhi said? No hitting.
Do I look like a jerk to you, pal? You think I do, and I'm insulted. Should I have to take this crap? I don't think so. Hey!
Let me handle this. Oh, just let the woman handle this. Down on the shelf and the playground monitor. Excuse me, but let me just tell you up front that if there's any bull, you will be having your main course on the sidewalk. So let's just all be adults like our driver's license say we are.
Hey, I don't understand why you're harping on us. It's that guy. He starts things and blames them on somebody else.
Nobody's blaming anybody. I can't believe it myself, but he's just sitting there.
So why don't you just go back in the kitchen and burn the chicken like you did last night?
It was blackened, moron.
Sure. No problem. But perhaps you'd like to try one of our fabulous desserts. There. It's on the house.
Dana, what the hell are you doing?
You're going down! That's it! Do you hear me now? Would you please give me a little help? Yes! Hurry up,
I don't know how you do it, officers. Witnessing the violence and the destruction day after day. It really makes you want to take back the streets.
Well, it's easy to be bitter, ma'am, but it's not really the criminal's fault. No, I blame TV. I think once we get a good labeling system, you'll see this country straighten up real quick.
Oh, you just come back anytime. Well, it was a close call, but I'd say our side won. I could tell because the little guy was crying.
I'm not proud of myself. I stooped to a very low level, which I think has something to do with being around you and the fact that I accidentally watched a little Monday Night Football, and I think that it has altered my genetic makeup.
Based off of all mother hens, she just wants everybody to like her tongue.
If this show doesn't go, it's not the end of my career, the end of my life, and maybe, if it doesn't work, then maybe I'll learn some more important things about life. I don't know.
But so far, the Jackie Thomas Show seems to be working. It regularly wins its time slot, and it even has some critics who like it. And despite some early concerns, I made it through Tom's show without a scratch, probably because I was just too fast to get fired.
I want you out of here. I'm going to...
Well, despite media critics, the TV audience loves the Jackie Thomas Show. It has been among the top 20 shows since its debut. More for you on Inside Edition Weekend.
Blood and strange symbols. But the seeds of this murder were sown 2 years earlier, when Elizabeth fell in love with Jens, and her dreams became a blueprint for a killing. I'm Teresa Saldana, and this is Confessions of Crime. It is a tragic irony that the bloody murder of Derek and Nancy Haysom should have occurred because of their daughter's love affair, something that normally signals a child's transition to adulthood. But the obsessive feelings Elizabeth Haysom experienced with her boyfriend, Jens Soering, signal not maturity, but an immature fantasy that eventually took both her parents' lives. They made a strange couple whose affair was driven by an intellectual attraction. Even so, it was astonishingly passionate and obsessive, and they declared their love in dozens of letters.
My dearest Jens, I love you. I love you now. I love you eternally. The most important person in my life.
And she could have had her pick, and here she picks this sort of pasty-looking dwarf that nobody liked very much. He was a very, very unlikely choice for her.
I think Jens probably just was riding on as high a high as he'd ever been.
I'm not perfect. I was ranked 5th in a mediocre school with mediocre people. I'm so hopeless. I qualify as a village idiot at best. I love you so fiercely.
Elizabeth had a troubled childhood. Her parents were rich and successful and set extremely high standards for their daughter. Elizabeth was sent away to exclusive boarding schools in England. As she escaped from the bonds of home, she became eccentric, bohemian, and a drug user. She escaped into a world of fantasy, weaving secret dreams inside her own head.
I was raised to believe I could be anything I wanted to be. I would read about a character and say, that's an interesting way to be. I think I'll be that way for a week or two.
At the time, I believe I thought that when I needed them when I was younger, they weren't there for me.
The letters show that they did feel as though they had found soulmates. This is an example of a letter that Elizabeth wrote to Jens over the holiday break. My mother went to her hair appointment 3 days late. My father and I cut down cedars for Christmas presents. Would it be possible to hypnotize my parents, do voodoo on them, will them to death? It seems my concentration on their death is causing them problems. My father nearly drove over a cliff at lunch. He nearly got squashed by a tree when he got home.
So you admit that you placed the idea of your parents' death in the mind of Jens Soren?
Yes. But he obviously knew from, as you pointed out, my letters, that I had feelings about my parents today. I didn't want them in my life, yes.
But who was going to take the next horrifying step? How was it that Elizabeth's fantasies could become an all-too-real tragedy? Stay with us.
Perhaps unconsciously on her part, but somehow the result of these two coming together was murder. I see this as something that was only premeditated as a fantasy. It ended up becoming a reality, but I don't think it's because of any conscious plotting. In Jens, she found someone to whom she could relate. And then she began manipulation with him involving her parents. They don't approve of you, but I love you so much that I don't care. I don't care if they cut me out of their inheritance.
They devised a complex alibi to cover their murderous schemes.
The investigator who was looking at this looked at the rental car mileage and he said they could not have run up that many miles just driving to Washington and driving back. So the only plausible excuse was they'd driven to Washington, at least one of them came back, or the car came back to Lynchburg.
She and Jens had plotted it down to the last detail. They booked a hotel room in Washington and devised a clever scam.
This was all part of the plan. What I was supposed to do is I was supposed to be in the shower when the room service arrived, so that it would look like I was in the shower with Jens. And I would come out of the shower with a towel wrapped around me. And I would pick up the room service receipt, and I would carry it back into the shower with me, forge his signature, and bring it back out again.
From a position of wealth and privilege, they had doomed themselves to a life of petty crime. Elizabeth had fantasized the murder, but she had failed to plan for what she and her lover would become. Two people on the run from the police.
It depended on crime to a large extent for survival. And I think they read it in a book. They went out, they did like good students, they went to the library and they checked out books on schemes and frauds and how to do this and how to do that, and they settled on one or two and they said, we're going to do this.
They were arrested in London, not for murder, but for a department store scam.
See, my manipulation of Jens, yes, I'm totally guilty. I'm totally responsible for my parents' death. I accept that. But what I want you to realize is that Jens acted of his own free will. He had a choice. Nobody forced him to do anything.
He pled not guilty. He claimed he had not committed the murders, that Elizabeth had fulfilled her own fantasies and killed her parents. The jury didn't believe him. Even though Elizabeth was not present during the murders, she pled guilty. Why did she confess? Had the reality of what she had done pierced her veil of fantasy?
Is she remorseful about what she did? The participation in the murder of her own mother and father? And if she claims here today that she is, and if her attorney claims that she is, then I counter with this simple response: how in the world could she sleep with the man as a lover on the very night that her parents were buried?
She is a pathological liar. She's a borderline schizophrenic. She is a junkie. And I think Elizabeth Haysom wouldn't know the truth if it hit her right between the eyes.
She wasn't there. She didn't stab her father 38 times. Yet her manipulating hand was present every time the knife plunged into his heart. Where Elizabeth Haysom is serving 90 years in the Goochland Correctional Facility, convicted of being an accessory before the fact. Her boyfriend, Jens Soering, is serving 2 life sentences for murder in the Virginia State Prison.
Has the sizzle gone out of your marriage? Does looking at that same old face every night remind you of that sexy person you walked down the aisle with? Do you wish your partner still acted more like your mate? Well, starting Monday, Prime 9 News will teach you how to put the life back in your love and give you the tips you need to keep the home fires burning, if you know what I mean. It's a Prime 9 News Extra starting Monday at 8 on Kikau TV. Be sure to watch. If you ever said, I do, you'll be glad you did.
Cynthia had the face of an angel, but her smile masked the heart of a killer. Like Bonnie with Clyde, she rode shotgun for a murderer on a motorcycle, married him on the back of his Harley, and joined in his murderous cross-country trek.
They have a physical criteria for their victim. Young, very pretty women. They all had long red fingernails.
Now, she claims he forced her to lure their female victims, and she's fighting to get off death row. She's no angel.
Everyone agrees that when Kaufman met Marlowe, it was love at first sight. He was everything she'd been searching for. She was exactly what he needed. Her first name was Cindy, but he would call her Sinful. She would call him Folsom Wolf for the prison where he got the name and the beast everyone around him knew he could become.
She fell in love with the man. He was the kind of man she always wanted to meet, big and strong. She was very sexually attracted to him.
It was the call of the wild, and the road led back to Kentucky, where they soon made a bundle of cash.
They were paid $5,000 for killing somebody that apparently had turned an informant for the police. Miss Kaufman dressed up very enticingly and lured the victim into an ambush where Mr. Marlowe gunned him down.
The cash bought them a fancy Harley-Davidson, and riding brought them closer and tighter together. At some point early on, they tied the knot at a biker wedding. He branded her property of Folsom Wolf with a tattoo across her backside. The Harley wasn't the only thing they wrecked. Sometimes when the mood hit, violence flared between them. She would later show up with her head shaved. He claimed he did it because bugs got in her hair. She says that he cut her hair off so she wouldn't be attractive to anyone else. Then one day they showed up in a mall in San Bernardino County, California, and came upon Karina Novus, strangled in an old vineyard, then left in a shallow grave. Sinful and Folsom Wolf drove off in her car, headed for new hunting grounds.
They're dressing like they're ready for battle.
This time, the Folsom Wolf wanted more than a beautiful young woman with long hair and long red fingernails. This time, he wanted to make sure there was cash there, too.
It was just an outgoing, giving person overall. She loved animals, she loved people, she loved children. She was so happy. She was like a nice, giving person.
Can I help you?
Yes, open the register.
Don't worry, please don't hurt me.
Just
Don't
open the
hurt me.
register.
Don't be safe. Please don't hurt me.
In the
What
back
are you
there.
doing?
After her abduction, Linnell Murray was taken to a nearby motel, and then the sadistic viciousness that had been visited upon Karina Novus came down upon Linnell Murray in unspeakable ways.
Kaufman says that she didn't even see it happen. It happened while she was gone. Marlowe says they both participated in it willingly, just as before, and it's the same sort of sex.
You're gonna kill this one.
Kaufman says she participated in strangling Linnell Murray only because Marlowe had told her.
Afterwards, Sinful and the Folsom Wolf were seen enjoying the best that a Denny's menu had to offer: shrimp, steak, and wine, and whatever else they could buy on their victim's credit card. Linnell Murray's body was found by a motel maid the next morning, and it wasn't long thereafter that Folsom Wolf and Sinful, she in a bikini, were spotted by cops hitchhiking through a mountain pass.
Elvis Presley is stationed in Germany when he receives an urgent phone call. His mother, Gladys, is gravely ill. His touchstone, the center of his life, is dying. Elvis is allowed to race home to her side on emergency leave. It is 1957. His mother is in the hospital, and Elvis has left her bedside to get some rest at Graceland.
Billy, why don't you grab that?
Hello? I got the phone, and it was his daddy, and he said, "Is Elvis?" And that's as far as he got. He started crying, and then the nurse took the phone, and she said, "You need to tell Mr. Presley that he needs to get up here as soon as he can, so his mother's taking a turn for the worst."
His mother has taken a turn for the worse.
Even as a, as a teenager, I knew something, was seriously wrong.
Hey, you want me to leave the keys in it? Park it yourself, asshole. Who you calling an asshole?
You heard my friend. Get the hell out of here.
Hey, take it easy, no problem. Crazy fucking lunatic! Shut up!
Let go!
Fucking bitch! Yeah, you fucking bitch! You fucking bitch! Get your hands off me! Get your hands down!
All right, it's cool. Hey, it's cool, baby. It's cool. Hey, listen up, sissy. This place ain't yours no more. It's ours. So you take your weasel-looking ass and this scrawny bitch the fuck out of here. Yeah, I'll be back, man. See that movie, man? You can rent it at your local video store. I'll be back.
That nigga might come back.
Control, baby.
偶然誘われたのが始まりと。
I'm back! Well, West!
You're gonna jump. Oh, not in your life.
This car is falling apart. Come on.
Mine?
Let's go.
I got it. You gotta get in there. Oh, watch out. Watch out.
Jake, come on.
Okay, Stuart, I just gave you your shot, and you didn't even know it.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Get in. Long distance for you on line 3?
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
All alike.
Excuse me.
What?
Could you tell me how to put an ad in the classifieds?
Oh, yeah, here, you fill out one of these forms here. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you charge by the word, by
No,
the
by the
sentence?
word, yeah.
Well, then I better make it quick.
You'd better make it quick. You've got about 5 minutes to catch tomorrow morning's edition. At second floor, the sign says classified, right?
Thanks.
Your bags are here. Your reservation is set, and you can pick up the ticket at the airport.
Thank you very much.
Julie, where are you going?
Well,
Jack, you're wasting your time on that personal section. And we don't write that stuff, we just print it.
Yes, but we can make the layout more pleasant looking and easier to read. Then perhaps more people will be interested in paying money to put their ads in it.
Whatever you say.
Yes. Whatever I say.
Yes, I placed an ad in your paper, and I was wondering if there's been a response to it. My box number is 7030.
Just 1 second, let me check that for you. I'm sorry, miss, but nobody's responded to your ad.
Thanks.
午前9時、この日最初のスタントが始まった。毎週日曜はアリサが最も緊張するハードなスタントの練習日。25人も参加するため、綿密な打ち合わせを何回も繰り返す。
The people that I work with are so fabulous to be around. They're absolutely delightful. They're so much fun. So that really makes it great to be able to work with such nice people.
All right, champ. Yeah. I'd like you to get in your car and play with your car a second.
Yeah, I gotta see that.
A lot of energy.
ミネソタ大学在学中からモデルをしていたアリサがスタントをやるようになったのは1年前。出演した映画で知り合ったスタントマンに偶然誘われたのが始まりとか。その瞬間、将来の不安が消え、アリサの目指す道が見えてきた。ビデオでその日のスタントをチェック。それが怪我を防ぐ一番の方法。いつも危険と隣り合わせ。そんな魅力に取りつかれている。
Are they picking on you? Goodness. I think I'd like to get married, you know, 2-3 years, maybe have a kid. Probably right around the age of 30, like my mother did.
今の彼女の課題はアクション。モデル時代の癖が抜けきらないため、動きがどこかぎこちない。女性にしかできないスタントと演技、それがアリサの目標。
My goals are to be the best that I can be as an actress and as a stunt woman. I think it's a difficult industry, and I think the most important thing to realizing any dream is to make sure that you're doing what you love, and in that regard, so I'm halfway there.
So take a chance.
This concludes tonight's drive. Programming for tomorrow's drive has been pre-selected and will begin at 6:45 a.m. with the Good Morning Northridge show. Switching to Good Morning Route 101 at 7 a.m. Hello, Sepulveda the Past.
Good night, Tracy.
Good night, George.
Bob.
Good evening, Mr. Greenberg.
Welcome home, Mr. Greenberg.
Hi, George.
Hello, Sam. Hi, honey.
Rough day, dear.
Terrible.
Oh, you poor thing. Come on in.
What's wrong with Junior?
Oh, he finally saved up enough allowance to have a direct internet download link attached to his skull.
Hey, wait a minute. There's all sorts of obscene, disgusting garbage out there. I think he's too young to see that.
Oh, don't worry, dear. I had them implant a V-chip as well. So anytime he tries to download something obscene or objectionable, it automatically...
Well, that's okay then.
We're here at the Irish Lawn Bowling Championships.
How about the Fish Channel?
You mean the fishing channel?
No, I mean the Fish Channel.
Tiddlywinks, game of chance or grilling hard driving.
Could you pass me the TV guide, please, honey?
Bodybuilding for middle-aged executives.
I've decided what to do. I'm going to use the master remote.
Oh, no, George. Not the master remote.
Strap in, honey. The master remote.
You're back. I knew you couldn't resist. What will it be tonight? Mud wrestling from Argentina?
We just want something to watch.
Why just watch? With our new technology, we can digitally scan you in at home and project you right into the program.
You're kidding.
Just watch this.
Dolgen is new to middle-aged executive bodybuilding.
Well, he's obviously got a lot of work to do if he wants to be competitive. I haven't seen a body that bad since Michael Eisner went on the middle-aged executive pro wrestling circuit.
We just want to watch something that's worth watching.
Sorry, can't help you there.
Forget it, honey. Don't we have a book in the house?
Book? Wait, there is good programming out there, but there's so much crap and chitter that it's really hard to find. The truth is, you have the power to go there on your own.
We do?
Yes, you do. Just click your heels together 3 times and say, there's no place like Fox.
There's no place like Fox. There's no place like Fox. There's no place like Fox.
I love a happy ending.
Hey, George! 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 Get me out of here!
Spectator.
Yes, this is box 7030. I'd like to know if I have had any responses to my ad yet.
Just 1 second. I'll check on that for you. Mr. Devereaux. It's box 7030 again.
Oh, good. Okay. Same one. Get her on the line, keep her talking, find out if she's representing herself or somebody else.
Okay, I'll try.
You do.
Are you interested in running your ad again?
Well, it depends on your answer.
Did we send that bill directly to you or to somebody else?
Neither. I paid in cash. I mean, come on, just have I had a response yet? It's just a simple yes or no, please.
Well, no, but...
Thanks.
Sorry.
Damn. Do something right, you gotta do it yourself. I'm sorry, it's no reflection on you. I just have too much writing on this. Check this out.
Okay.
I'm gonna dictate.
Sure.
Dear Box 7030, saw your ad, very intrigued. Think we should meet first. Wings tonight. Wear a red carnation.
Why are you doing this?
Don't pay you to ask questions, just type it up, make it snappy. Deadline's in 5 minutes.